Good afternoon, Macaque City! You're listening to Radio Skyline, your place to keep pace with everything in town and beyond. I'm Hugh Berger, and joining me in the studio is Myra.
Hello, Myra.
And it's the season of giving, the season of cheer, the season of shopping, and the season of fear.
A tubby elf is gonna slide down the chimney and pass judgment on your kids. Tremble, Macaque City. Tremble like a bowl full of jelly, as Santa merely laughs because he knows. He always knows.
But it's the season of fear because this is the time when a lot of personal debts come home to roost, and many families take out more debts to meet their holiday obligations.
First you were happy and now you're depressed. Welcome to the show.
But there's a twist this year. Our guest today is a local judge, Hale Maroney. Welcome to our show, Mr. Maroney.
Ho, ho, ho. Thanks for having me, Mr. Hugh Berger. I'm here to...
Hugh? Berger.
Oh.
I don't get why this is such a problem.
Well, I'm here to forgive your debts. In the spirit of Santa, whoever you believe in this holiday season. The Hanukkah ghost, maybe.
Ah, yes, the Hanukkah ghost. He rises on Hanukkah, but the bread does not.
Or the Kwanzaa leprechaun. At the end of the rainbow is a pot of gold.
A pot of debt forgiveness.
A pot of debt forgiveness, aye.
That's right, a pot of debt forgiveness, because around this time of year, people turn to payday loans and other kinds of exploitative cash advances to provide Christmas for their families.
Just to clarify, Maroney doesn't forgive that kind of debt. Aye, it's true. Sadly, payday loans be out of your jurisdiction.
So, Mr. Maroney, tell us what kind of loans you can forgive.
Well, if you've ever been hit by a traffic fine and you didn't pay it, you may have realized the late payment accrues interest. You let that sink in long enough and sooner or later it rises like a wave above your head. Oh, and once it does that, there's no steering out of it. A warrant goes out for your arrest and soon you find yourself facing prison time for parking in front of the gym during the wrong hours. A Christmas tragedy it truly be.
I have an aunt that was arrested for something like that, but in her case, there was construction outside the courthouse, so she was speeding and they pulled her over and slapped her with a double fine. She wound up late for the court appointment, which was about another ticket, and long story short, she didn't go to that one, and then she didn't go to any of the other ones, and now she's in prison for life. For traffic citations?
Oh, no, she stabbed someone, but that was after she went to prison. And that is precisely what I'm trying to avoid. You know what I see most often at the courthouse?
Stabbings?
No, divorce cases. But after that, stabbings can be more common than you'd think. And to be frank, in most situations, sending people to prison is way more expensive than just letting go of the damn debts. So until the end of this year, that's exactly what I'm doing for anyone that comes in my office with any good reason to have not paid their tickets.
And that's important news, people of Macaque. If you've got a tidal wave of ticket-inflicted debts, come see George Maroney. It's the type of Christmas miracle that reminds you your childhood is dead and over. And now it's time for a commercial.
Get up and get down, Macaque City. This is Frank with Frank's Funkadelic Cars. Any vehicle you want, so long as it's funky as all heck. Fuzzy steering wheel, soda machine in the trunk, and enough rhinestones to choke on. People would think the sun itself is driving down the road. We have so many reflective surfaces for you to apply to your car. And speaking of reflection, I just wanted to apologize to Slick Sam out there. It's not easy selling cars and car parts, and we here at Funkadelic Franks are happy to reassemble any carburetor or other piece of machinery you can find into some kind of crazy smoothie machine and sell it back to you. Impress your friends with 100 different flavors of refreshing drinks in the summertime. Need a truck bed to carry all that landscaping material you just bought? Why not turn your truck into a lowrider and cheat the odds? At Funkadelic Franks we can make it work. Guaranteed hauling that won't scrape the road or your money back. Scooters, trucks, cars, steamrollers, anything can become a lowrider with our expertise. Inquire within at Funkadelic Franks.
Funkadelic Franks. Either he's outbidding everyone, or everyone else is bidding really low. Hey, at least they don't have us hawking life insurance yet.
I'm too old for that. No one's gonna believe I have life insurance. Those companies know they won't turn a profit on me.
Anyway, back to the subject at hand, Mr. Maroney. I was wondering if I could ask how you got into your work as a judge.
I was elected.
I mean, obviously, but tell us about your beginnings. Where'd you go to law school?
Well, it's a common misconception that you have to go to law school to be a judge. It's an elected position, you see, and one of those where you usually get voted in on the partisan ticket. People register as one political party, and in many places that's an automatic vote for you if you run under that party.
Oh, so you're not educated in law?
Nobody in a position of power is qualified to be there, Hugh. It's all smoke and mirrors. You develop a sort of on-the-job education. It's up to the lawyers to argue the precedents, and that's why, I'll be honest, some of the judges are downright wacky pants.
Well, what compelled you specifically to be a judge?
An interesting question. Long ago, I was rear-ended in a parking lot by a woman I might describe as portly. She drove off, making it a hit and run, but it happened so fast that all I could tell you is she was Caucasian. However, if I saw that woman again, I'd recognize her on the spot, I would. And so, I made it me life's mission to become a judge, knowing that a woman of such diminished moral caliber would one day find herself before me in the courtroom, and it would be then that I would recognize her as no other. Split my lungs with blood and thunder when I see the white female. Cast her down and torn asunder so that justice may prevail. Repelled by rage at my scratched car, a judgment cast down from afar. Cast upon her crooked brow, upon the portly fiendish sow. She'll rue the day, I swear upon me station wagon. Never again will she victimize the innocent bumper of a vehicle, and all criminals of her ilk will tremble at her example.
So what you're saying is, if you've been involved in a hit and run, don't come to Judge Maroney for forgiveness.
I'll crush ye!
Isn't hit and run a felony anyway? Can you forgive that?
In our state, it's a misdemeanor if no one was injured, but I'll crush ye anyway.
Really important to know. And now it's time for Peyton with the traffic. Peyton, how's it going out there?
I don't know. Yes, the city is getting crowded, and I can't see everything from my hill anymore.
Well, are you seeing anything useful?
I can see the Oligopol Mart parking lot, yes.
Okay, well, how's congestion in the parking lot?
The old lady is holding up a huge line of traffic. She's been crossing the street for like 2 hours, yes, and I think the lead driver fell asleep, yes.
You know, that's not a usual traffic jam, but that's still useful information if you're gonna go to Oligopol Mart. Just park on the back.
You seen any hit and runs there, Peyton?
I guess.
You did?
Yes.
Well, give us the details, you daft fool. It's the most important part of traffic.
Well, some teenager backed up into someone's car and scratched the bumper, but it looks like the paint just wiped off. So.
Did you get a good look at him?
No. It was funny, yes. This kid and his friend were like panicking, but it was just a little bumper.
Describe the kids and the car.
Red? Yes?
The kids are the car! The kids?
They weren't Native American.
We're not allowed to describe people by their skin color on this station.
Except when we do.
I mean, there's guidelines, and I don't...
What type of car was it, Peyton?
I don't remember. Yes, a red one.
You have to give me more to work with.
Judge Maroney, we need to take a commercial break, so we'll be right back.
Yo, this is Slick Sam, and did you hear that provocative nonsense being spouted by Funkadelic Frank? He has the nerve to call me crazy. Well, I'll show him crazy with Slick Sam's Oil Slick Fire Sale. Tons of car stuff, more of it than I could ever need being sold below cost. And I don't know I can win the war of attrition, but I can hurt us both. That's right, I went down to the local junkyard, got myself a slice of Tubby Dan's barbecue, and then walked out with a bunch of perfectly good car parts that people were literally throwing away. Brake drums, windshield visors, some kind of plunger that goes into something. I got it all, and I'm willing to figure out what it goes to if you want to buy it. And if you know what it is better than I do, and chances are you do, then it is your chance to name your price. Say something mean about Funkadelic Frank on Facebook, and I'll give you 30% off of any purchase in store, whether it's an animal, vegetable, or mineral, or a car part. It's all on sale if you join me on my crusade against the guy who indirectly wronged me this October, and then directly wronged me again after that. So come on down to Slick Sam's and help me scorched earth battle this guy that you barely even know. Slick Sam's!
Slick Sam's, perhaps his famous last stand. And here Frank was extending an olive branch. You know, Bob, our studio head, must have seen these two commercials, and he knew he could clear this up with a little phone call. Yeah, but instead he chose to run them. You know, it's not really the studio's job to get in between our sponsors, but just so you know, hey, if you guys are listening, we can all continue to be in business if you make peace. It's not worth it, Sam. Think of all the kids playing with the newts and iguanas that got lost in your store. Think of all the newts that have never been accounted for. Those poor dear newts. So anyways, as for Judge Maroney, yeah, kind of a interesting guy. I'll vote for him again. You know, I really thought you had to have legal expertise to be a judge. You know, doesn't that make sense? What in life does make sense? It just seems like, you know, it'd be a requirement. Well, but then it's a requirement that you have to be able to go to college and get your law degree. You know, this way, literally anyone can be a judge, for better or worse, and I see the pros and cons. Aren't the campaign costs kind of doing the same thing, though? You know, as far as... Honestly, I don't know. Like most people, I don't pay any attention to local politics, except for when you force me to. And that's all the time we have for today. So, if you'd like for us to be forced on you in the future, tune in again. This has been it for Radio Skyline. Shoot for the skies.